Retiring single can feel like everyone else got the memo about where to go, and you're left wondering if you'll spend your golden years talking to your houseplants. But here's the thing, there are states where single retirees don't just survive, they absolutely thrive. Places where your neighbors become your chosen family, and your social security actually covers a good life. The secret is finding states with three things: communities that welcome you, costs that don't crush you, and healthcare that won't bankrupt you. I found 10 states that get it right, and the top choice will shock you. Number 10. This Midwestern state might be the Rodney Dangerfield of retirement destinations. It gets no respect, but maybe it should. You'll find some of the lowest assisted living costs in the country, and these aren't warehouses for people. They're active communities. What sets this place apart is the dense network of faith-based and civic organizations that actually reach out to isolated seniors. This is Indiana, where the Hoosier hospitality is real, and 15.4% of the population is 65 or older. You're more likely to be invited to a church potluck than ghosted here. Libraries do more than loan dusty books. They host social events, tech classes, and knitting circles that are more about gossip than yarn. Small towns have community snow removal help for seniors, and folks actually check on each other when it gets cold. With a cost of living index of 91.5, your dollar stretches further than you'd expect. Before I show you the next state, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more of the best places to retire. Number 9. This state is split between two major cities and dozens of small towns that know how to look after their own. The cost of living here is more than 10% below the national average, making your dollar stretch so far you might actually feel rich. What makes this place shine for single retirees is the solid Medicaid expansion programs, and seniors can access home-based care, meal programs, and transportation options. This is Missouri, with a cost of living index of 88.5 and 15.2% of the population over 65. You get nice tax breaks on retirement income, and property taxes won't gut you every year. One hidden perk: community colleges let seniors audit classes for free. Local theaters offer senior nights, and grocery stores have Wednesday senior discounts. Wednesday is basically unofficial Senior Appreciation Day here, making it easy to connect with other seniors doing their shopping. Number 8. This southeastern state offers the perfect sweet spot between affordability and actual things to do that don't involve bingo all day. With mountains to the west and beaches to the east, it's like a retirement buffet where you can pick your scenery. The cost of living sits comfortably below the national average, while the healthcare quality is outstanding thanks to world-class medical systems. This is North Carolina, where 15.9% of the population is over 65. What makes this place special for lonely seniors is the incredible network of senior centers, wellness programs, and, believe it or not, free university classes for folks over 65. The porch culture here means neighbors don't just wave, they bring pie. With a climate that won't cook you in summer or freeze you in winter, and a cost of living index of just 95.7, it's no wonder single retirees are flocking here. Number 7, this southwestern state offers high desert landscapes, sunny skies, and low humidity that's great for older bones with cranky joints. But beyond pretty views, communities here aren't just affordable, they're full of culture, community events, and senior centers that actually get used. One of the biggest perks is senior wellness programs and volunteer networks that make it easy to plug in and start meeting people fast. This is New Mexico, with a cost of living index of 88.4 and 14.4% of the population over 65. If you're low income, there are state-run meal deliveries, transportation, and wellness services that aren't just technically available, they're actually accessible. The cost of living is low enough that folks on fixed incomes can find decent housing, property taxes are reasonable, and public transit in big cities helps you get around without relying on your cousin's flaky teenager for rides. Number 6. This southern state isn't just peaches and college football. It's one of the most underrated places to grow old without going broke or going stir-crazy. While it doesn't have the highest senior population, that's actually a bonus if you're looking to feel a little younger hanging around those young 50-year-olds. Small-town culture here is full of churches, senior clubs, and front porches where everyone knows everyone's business. This is Georgia, with a cost of living index of 89.2 and 13.5% of the population over 65. The state offers property tax exemptions for seniors, which means you might finally afford a house where the toilet doesn't leak. The social culture is worth mentioning. People talk to each other here. You'll find neighbors who knock just to say hi, grocery clerks who remember your name, and weekly pancake breakfasts that double as therapy sessions for lonely seniors. Number 5. This Midwestern state is the land of cornfields and people who are too polite to let you stay lonely for long. What it lacks in flashy attractions, it makes up for in affordability and neighborliness that seems legally required. Seniors here benefit from one of the best healthcare systems for the price, and nursing home costs are shockingly reasonable. This is Iowa, with a cost of living index of 89.3 and 15.4% of the population over 65. Communities are small but active, with libraries, churches, senior centers, and schools all working together to keep older residents engaged in life. If you like volunteering or mentoring, this place is all about intergenerational connections. People want you to stick around and make it easy to feel useful again. Transportation is another surprise, with many counties offering low-cost or free ride programs for seniors, plus church potlucks that should probably be regulated for how addicting they are. Number 4. Welcome to a state where almost 1 in 5 people are seniors. So if you feel old, at least you've got company. This state might not be the cheapest on our list, but it earns its spot with smart tax policies and exceptional senior benefits. For starters, it doesn't tax your Social Security, pensions, or IRA withdrawals. That alone deserves a medal. This is Pennsylvania, with a cost of living index of 94.4 and an impressive 17.8% of the population over 65. Healthcare access is top-notch, and programs help with prescription costs so you're not choosing between heart medication and heat in January. Small towns throughout are walkable, social, and full of old buildings that might be creaky, but so are we at this point. There's strong public transit for seniors, community engagement opportunities, and historical societies that basically double as retirement clubs with better stories. Number 3. This northern state is the plot twist of retirement. Most people picture it as frozen and flat, but it's one of the most senior-friendly states in the country, especially if you're living alone and want a community that gives a damn. It's got no state income tax, very low overall tax burden, and an unusually high percentage of people 65 and older. This is South Dakota, with a cost of living index of 92.3 and 17.7% of the population over 65. One big perk: people actually talk to each other here. Small towns aren't just friendly, they're interconnected. If your lights don't come on in the morning, someone's calling to check on you. That's not creepy, that's community. The state invests in senior programs and home care options, meaning you're likely to get help when you need it. Healthcare access isn't just good for a rural state, it's exceptional. And while winters can be harsh, locals know how to deal with snow. Number 2. This southern state is kind of like that friend who never brags but turns out to be secretly awesome. It has some of the lowest housing and healthcare costs in the country, and for seniors living alone, that can mean the difference between financial freedom and counting change for prescription copays. Places here offer small-town friendliness with just enough modern convenience. You've got access to solid hospitals, walking trails, and nature spots. This is Arkansas, with a cost of living index of 87.8 and 14.3% of the population over 65. The state even has tax breaks for retirees, and living costs so low, you might finally afford a decent recliner. The culture is all about connections, whether it's church, a diner, or the weekly domino game at the senior center. People notice when you're not around and care enough to check in. For seniors used to living alone in cities where no one knows your name unless you owe them money, this is a warm change of pace. Number 1. The surprise champion has got to be a first. This state never tops anything unless it's negative. But here it is, because it's affordable and loaded with seniors. And when you're retired and alone, that's incredibly important. This state has the lowest cost of living in the United States, meaning your fixed income might actually stretch far enough to cover both housing and hobbies. This is Mississippi, with a cost of living index of 85.3, the absolute cheapest in the U.S., and 15.4% of the population over 65. Most importantly, it's loaded with tight-knit communities where being a senior actually earns you respect, like you accomplished something by getting old. Churches double as social hubs, neighbors know your name, and even small towns have senior programs that don't just exist, they're active. If you're living alone and tired of talking to your toaster, this state will fill your calendar fast. The state has invested in in-home care services and community programs designed specifically for older adults, hitting all the sweet spots for affordability and connection. If this video helped you discover the best states for single retirees, make sure to subscribe to the channel.